What's up, guys? Welcome back to another one of my real estate videos. Today I am talking about the 3 most common reasons why you and other people like you have not bought your first rental property. So we're gonna dive right in. The first and most common excuse that I hear from folks as far as why they don't want to buy a rental property is the maintenance. So you have a car, you change the tires on the car every couple of years, you change the oil on your car, you change the fluids on your car, you buy parts for your car, but you still drive a car, right? Same thing applies for a house. If you have a house, you have to maintain that property. Now here's a big difference. I can almost guarantee you that everything that you own loses value, whereas a house increases in value. And the other things that you own most likely need maintaining as well. Anything of value usually requires maintenance. So you still drive your car even though you have to maintain it. A house is the same thing. Now the popular misconception is that it costs so much money to maintain a house. It really doesn't cost that much money as long as you're doing preventative maintenance. If you ignore your property for 5 years and you don't do anything to it, yes, you're gonna get hit with a big bill to do major maintenance renovation expenses. But if you're conducting preventative maintenance all the time, checking for leaks, doing caulking, doing as much as you can to make sure the water doesn't get into the property and so forth, you're not going to spend that much on maintenance, and I would not worry about it. Another thing on that note is cars and most of the other things that you own depreciate in value. Your house appreciates in value. So it's in your best interest to maintain it and keep it looking as nice as possible so that it's worth as much money as possible, as well as tenants finding it attractive and you renting it faster and for more money. So maintenance is not a bad thing. It's just a part of the business. It's just something you have to do. Second thing I get a lot is, what if the tenant damages my property? I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that excuse. Everybody seems to know someone that rented a property and the tenants damaged the property. Yes, it does happen. I will tell you though, I have been in this business for going on 12 years, managed over 2,500 properties, and only one time, a tenant damaged a property, and that was because the landlord wanted us to choose that tenant, let that tenant move in even though we advised them not to. They still did, and the tenant damaged that one property. But I still think the ratios have been pretty good to us, 1 to 2,400. Anyways, the reason why I think we've been so great at not having issues is, one, when you qualify your tenants properly, you're not gonna have these issues of having tenants that are gonna damage your property. If you have a tenant that has good credit, you actually call the landlord to see how they were as tenants with that landlord, maybe even go and look at the property before you give them final approval. Those 3 simple little items help out so much. But the main thing is, people with good credit usually do not damage your property. Now, let's be realistic here. If you're in the business for 10, 15, 20 years, you're gonna occasionally run across someone that's gonna damage your property. It's just the cost of being the boss, right? It's gonna happen at least one time. It's not the end of the world. You have insurance that covers damage and the other things that you can do to limit that. For example, inspections. Really important that you do inspections, but that's a whole nother video. The third, but certainly not the least common excuse will be, I am not afraid to buy. I'm not afraid of finding bad tenants. What I am afraid of is I don't have any money. I don't have any money to buy right now. So here's the answer to that one. If you don't have any money to buy right now and you have good credit, or you have cash and you can buy right now, but you don't have good credit, the best thing for you to do is find a partner. Just like you're interested in investment property and rental property, I'm sure at least one person that you know is also interested in investment property. Pair up. If you have cash and bad credit, you know someone that has good credit but not that much cash, pair up with them. See if you guys can meet as far as what your investment goals are, and if they align, you form a partnership, you buy a property together. It's very simple. In fact, most of the projects that you see are partnerships. It's usually not one person that owns a lot of these rental properties that you see. The apartment buildings, for example, that you see around your town and in our area, it's multiple investors pooled together to get those properties. It is the way that you win in this business. It's very unusual for people to buy properties on their own. Again, these are some of the little tricks that you don't hear about and you don't know about unless you're entrenched in the business. But I'm sharing them with you today. You're welcome. Anyways, I hope those tips help. Again, going down from the top, do not be afraid of finding bad tenants. I haven't had it happen in 10 plus years. It probably will happen, but guess what? It's not the end of the world. You can fix houses. Needless to say, if you find and qualify your tenants, the chances are very unlikely that they're gonna damage your property. If you don't have money and you have good credit, or if you have money and not good credit, find someone that lacks what you have, right? If you have cash, find someone with good credit. If someone has cash, you have good credit, partner up, make sure you guys are gonna get along and you can buy properties that way versus waiting to fix your credit or versus waiting to get cash. Partnerships are inevitable anyways if you want to grow your real estate portfolio, so you might as well get started talking to people about it from now. And then the first thing was maintenance. Don't be afraid of maintenance. You have to maintain your property. First things, you want to maintain it for safety purposes, and secondly, which probably should have been first, is you want it to look nice so you can get tenants in the unit faster when it's vacant, as well as it helps with the value of your property. I hope that you found these tips helpful. Be sure to follow me and I will continue shooting more videos with helpful information. Bye.